Hello, everyone, ladies and gentlemen. Pray all is well with you all during this time of social distancing. I was just checking in to see how everyone is doing. If you're online, let me know how you're doing, how you all are faring, what types of issues you might be having. Do you have any questions? I may not have all the answers, but maybe we can connect with some folks that do have it. I do know how to research some of the answers. One of the things we are having some challenges with at our church is the streaming. We shouldn't have challenges with them. However, we're having a couple of issues with some folks in our media department, and prayerfully they will be resolved. How are you all doing? Are you all streaming? Who all is streaming out there? Hey, Sister Denise, I see you have joined. Not sure who else has joined. Just want to see how you all are connecting with your members to keep them engaged with your church, engaged with praying for each other, sharing the word, giving. Are you all having issues with that? I know we have already instituted some ways to give online, and and it's been going pretty well. People have been faithful thus far. I do know that in order to keep them engaged on that level, you want to stay connected with them. So it's really important to use innovative ways to connect with our church members. And even if that's a phone call, if it's a phone tree within the church with your members, you can always, if I can call the deacons and the deacons can reach out to the people they're connected with, or if I can call the senior choir and the senior choir has telephone numbers for the other folks, doing it that way is helpful as well, as long as we're sharing the message with them on how we are connecting, checking in on them, making sure they're okay. All these things are important. It may not seem like you're doing a whole lot, but even the little things that we can do, like calling and checking on folks, is very important. So we definitely want to try to share that with our members, our ministries. We are, of course, in a position where even though we're not physically at our churches, we do have the ability to connect with the different leaders as well as members. So we are that bridge or that liaison person whom leaders and members depend on. I know you probably are getting inundated with phone calls, text messages asking about, what about this? How's this? What about this? And, you just have to use wisdom, answer them as you can, connect them with the right people. This is a time when our ability to connect is so important. If you're having some issues with that, we're just asking that you just kind of share that now. If you don't share it now, you can share it later. Just post that. We really want to make sure that each of our churches are really well connected during this time. One of the strategies I wanted to do a training on that has been extremely helpful for me, I'm not sure if any of you all will need it, is the use of a virtual phone number through Google Voice. And it's relatively easy. It's a free platform, and it allows for you to give this phone number out, and it's connected to a Gmail account that you can create if you don't have one. And like I said, it's free. Everything we do, we try to keep it either low cost or free. And that number you can give out to your people in your congregation, share with them, ministry leaders, whoever. And it can be like a business number for you, for the church. And you can accept phone calls, voice messages, you can do texts through it as well. So I'm going to do that training probably, let's say, I'm not going to say tomorrow because I have a couple of things I have to do for the church, but we're going to try to do that on Friday and set that up. And that way you all are able to begin to give, if you don't have something in place already, give something out that isn't necessarily your personal phone number, but a number where somebody's calling for prayer, or if somebody has an issue, they know that there's an alternate church number they can call. You're not at the church, and maybe you don't have the ability to forward your voice messages to where you are, or the hassle of having to call there, check the voicemail, call the person back, and then now when you call them back, they have your personal number, so they might be calling you during personal time. So for me, this is a really good way to have a second business line for the church, and I'm able to respond to them from that number. So we will do that. Hi, Sister Candace. How are you? I hope you're doing well. And I see Sister Andrea is on as well. Well, as you know, our activity that we had scheduled for Administrative Assistance Day is postponed. So, and that's fine. That's fine. We're not going to schedule really anything right now. The most we're going to do from this point forward, I do want you all to know that we are going to be still active. But the way we're going to be active is in the form of doing some trainings, sharing. If someone is having, an issue, they can share it. If your church or an organization that you're a part of is doing something to assist with anything that's happening in the community, as far as making masks, I can't sew, but I can donate towards something. We can share that here as well. We just want to make sure that everyone is still connected. We have that support system as we're going through this. We want to, keep our group tight. We have gained some momentum as far as growing and our commitment. So we want to keep that going. And more than anything, we want to encourage each other in the Lord. We are sisters in Christ, sisters and brothers in Christ. And this is a challenging time. All of my family is home, and my husband is home working. He's not used to being still. And my son, who is in sports at school, he's not used to being by himself, or not with some kids. So it's been a challenge, and I'm sure you all are going through the same types of things. But God has a reason for allowing things to happen, and this is a great time to reconnect with Him, get some quiet time and spend with Him, listen to Him, get in tune with the Spirit, so that you're able to see how He wants you to move. One thing I can tell you that God has reassured me of is that we are going to be okay. So no matter what's going on, we are going to be fine. He has put that in my spirit solid, very, very solid, and I'm so grateful that He gives me that reassurance. I know people are going through things, and we're praying for them, and we're asking that He would have mercy on those who are having challenges. But His people, those who are called by His name, will be okay. We are coming out okay, more than okay. We're going to be on top. So don't you all worry about it. It's almost like we are the children of Israel. And as Moses was leading them out of Egypt, they could see all these things happening outside of them, but they were almost like in a bubble. They were in Goshen, and none of the plagues were affecting them. And that's how God has His people. He's not going to allow for anything to affect His agenda. So we want to be in line with His agenda. We want to make sure we are staying prayerful. We're prayed up. We're praying for others. We are being obedient, and just remembering Him in all things. This is a time when the world has to stop and look at and say, okay, there's nothing that we're doing is actually going to stop this immediately. The only person who can stop it immediately is God. So we want to take this time, and when he wants to get our attention, he knows how to get our attention. And this has definitely got the attention of everyone in the world. And if you see posts that are out there of, I think the last one I saw was over in Brazil, where they were singing Because He Lives, throughout a whole, an entire little apartment complex type of place. They were singing it. And if this had not happened, would those people have come together to sing this song of praise to God? Probably not. So, this is an opportunity where we can take and we can go ahead and show our appreciation for God. We acknowledge Him. Stop and just pay attention. Sometimes if you've been in a relationship, sometimes you can get busy just doing things. We're in a relationship, that's fine, but every now and then you got to stop and pay attention. Give some QT time, if you want to call it that, to your mate. And this is our QT time that we can give to God. And it's just so important that we take the time to do that. And like I said, even though this is a challenging time, it's also a time where we can get closer to God. And so I am appreciative of that. And I am using it to do just that, in my Bible studies, in my prayer time, in my time with my family, just doing that. So, hey, Sister Audrey. She said James Cleveland had a song that said everything will be all right. I know that's right. And it is. It's going to be all right. God has got us. We are His children. He loves us. He's got us. He's got us. And we can rest assured in that. And that is how we are. That's why we're called a peculiar people. Why y'all calm and whatnot? Why aren't y'all buying up all the toilet paper? Because I know the Lord will provide. Now, I'll tell you a couple stories. We did go to the grocery store a couple times, trying to get, some things. I needed some bread, and my husband had went to the store, and I think he was trying to get the toilet paper, because we had just a 4-pack, and he was trying to get. He said, "Well, you know what? We need some more," because we were down to our last row. And when I was in the store, this was separate from him. I just stopped. I said, "Lord, we need some bread." Didn't have any bread, and I didn't know when they were going to have any bread. This was, I think, last week. So I said, "Lord, I need some bread." And I tell you, as soon as I prayed that prayer, because I had looked all around that store, did not find any bread. As soon as I prayed that prayer, didn't they bring some bread out? I see, little things like that may not mean a lot to people. But when you're tired and you're trying to, take care of your household and whatnot, if the Lord will show up right when you need Him, just to give you a little reprieve, to let you know, I got you. And not only that, when my husband went to the store and he was looking for the toilet paper, there was no toilet paper. He stopped and said, "Lord, I need some toilet paper." He looked around. There was a 12-pack that somebody had put back. And he snatched it up. Yes, he did. But just lets you know that God will provide. You just have to ask Him. He said, "We have not because we ask not." So I challenge you all. If you need anything, whatever it is, toilet paper, alcohol, or peroxide, whatever it is, I challenge you all. Just ask God for it. And you don't have to bend, "Oh Lord, I got to, can you help me?" You don't have to, do all of that. All you have to do is ask Him. Say, "Lord, I need this. Lord, I know." He said He provide, supply all our needs. And toilet paper is one of our needs. So we don't have to, don't go out there and be one of the ones who fighting over it. Don't do that. Don't do that. So, yeah, I see a few more people have joined. Sister Deborah Bragg, how are you? Wonderful, just words of encouragement. I know sometimes we can be home and you can watch everything you can watch. I watch HGTV, everything that's come on. I want to knock out some walls, and I want to add some things and whatnot as you're sitting around here. Things I should have done anyway. Me and my husband was looking around the house. But yeah, we've done that. Watch some movies. I ate too much. You buy food, you're like, okay, and I'm cooking way more than I've cooked before. Now, my husband might be happy about that, but I tell you what, I'm tired. I have picked greens, made macaroni and cheese, dressing, smothered pork chops, Cajun chicken pasta. I've been cooking so much, and I'm thinking, well, maybe he may have prayed for that. Well, I wish my wife would cook some more, because I sure have been cooking a whole lot. So it has it's been a blessing for him, but for me it's just been a challenge. But the Lord has allowed me to get through it. So how have you all been faring? Just wondering how your churches are faring. Are any of you all streaming? And if you're streaming, what platforms are you using? What time do you come on? Have you all changed the time that you all come on? Are you all doing anything during the week? I know I saw Antioch has a Bible study. Reverend French, I saw his Bible study that he's doing. I saw Reverend Corey Scholl on Sunday in their live stream. I saw Bates, and I know Bates is doing a live stream, but he's doing the classics with his. And I believe St. Stephen's, I saw when they were on. So I know it's been a challenge, but I'm just wondering how you all have been faring, things that you all have been using. Sister Audrey said I didn't invite anybody over. My oldest son came over, and I had made a huge thing of Cajun chicken pasta. And he came, and I didn't know he took this much, but he took over half of it. I came down the next day to get leftovers, and he's like, wait a minute, what's all? I'm thinking this is going to last. Okay, this will last a few days, and blah, blah. A couple days, and that stuff was gone. And it takes a minute to make that. So, yes, I would have invited you over, Sister Audrey. And next time I make some, maybe I'll make it for the ladies in the group so that they're able to have some. So, also, I know I've been watching the governor, and I've been watching Mayor Fischer. Mayor Fischer has a page, Lift Up Lou. I think that's what it's called, Lift Up Lou, on Facebook. And he's doing updates there. I know he's home with his wife, and praying for him and his wife. And the governor does an excellent job with sharing information to us, giving us the facts, encouraging, and he's doing such an excellent job, and I'm just grateful that he is our governor, and I am not embarrassed by the things he's saying or how he's presenting himself. We will pray for the other officials who may not be doing it on the same level. However, I'm glad that we have a leader who is sharing with us good information, and in a way we're able to receive it. And in Kentucky we've been doing a great job. We are doing a great job of trying to adhere to what has been asked, adhere to the mandate. And we just have to encourage others. And as leaders in our churches, that's another thing that we need to do, is encourage each other. Candace said, I'm glad to see how we've already been given virtual tools to engage prior to the pandemic. God does everything in order. Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? We had already started doing virtual meetings and didn't know any of this was coming. So this is an opportunity for us to still connect and share. So I'm grateful for that. Sister Audrey said that they have nightly praise and prayer service each evening at 7 by phone, and have live stream on Sunday. Give us that number for the praise and prayer service. I'm not sure, or it's the number for the live stream. Whatever it is, give us that number so we can post that as well. Not all of our churches have the live streaming capability, so we can still hear the word from our local churches, from local ministers, and be supportive. So we just want to make sure that we're able to do that. If you weren't on earlier, one of the things that I said, we would do, because we are going to have to postpone pretty much all of our activities for this year, the things we will focus in on mainly are the streaming of training. We will do trainings, and one of the trainings I want to do on Friday, this is one that I'm going to do, is showing you all how to take advantage of Google Voice. Google Voice allows for you to have an alternate phone number. If you're normally at the church, and since you're not there, instead of having to call in, get the voicemails, if you don't have the forwarding capability, there is a way to have an alternate telephone number that is not your number, so they don't have to have your personal number, where people can call, they can text, and you are able to respond to them on that number. Now you can answer that number during your regular business hours and give that information to whomever you need to forward it to. If it's for your pastor, you can say, okay, well, thank you for calling, and Sister so-and-so, I'll make sure pastor gets this information, or I'll make sure the deacons get this, or whatever it is. So right now, this is a tool that you can use to still stay connected with your church members and not have it, infringe on your personal life as well. And this is definitely what I use. Whenever I'm texting, I don't get my phone back out and let me text so-and-so back. No, I'm already on the computer, so I send my text out in the Google Voice platform as well. So I will go over how to use that on Friday, and I believe it'll be Friday around noon. That sounds good. I'll be up by then. So Friday at noon, I'm going to do it may be a Facebook Live, it may be a Zoom meeting. I'll see how I'm going to use that platform, but I'll be sure to share it with everyone. But if anyone has any suggestions or any questions, or if you're having issues with some things, let us know. Let me know, and we'll share it, and we'll see if somebody has expertise. We don't have to get someone outside of our group right now unless we need to, but we can have some trainings on how to utilize that. Best practices, if you want to call it that. And I believe that was going to be one of our trainings anyway, is a best practice type platform where everyone was able to kind of share what they feel they do well. And especially now, in this time of social distancing, where we can use some virtual tools and resources to help us to navigate and stay connected with our churches. So if you all have any ideas on some platforms we can use, I'm excited about that. There are a lot of them that are out there that I've been exposed to that I'd like to share, but right now I think just getting people connected with the ones that will be most useful at this time, they can set up quickly and implement, and it will prove beneficial to them and their pastor, the congregation. Google Voice is one. The text alert system that we use right now, it is a free platform that I use, and I use this for our church as well. It has been a life saver and a game changer for our church and for our seniors, who also take advantage of receiving the text alerts. So that one. Also want to get into the Google Drive. I use Gmail, just a Gmail platform. I know Microsoft has a platform as well, online platform, where they have documents that they use and share. But if we can dive into a couple of them, so that you're able to, even with documents that you might be working on for your pastor, for ministry leaders or whatever, you need to share it. This is a way you can collaborate. And once again, all these platforms are free. So we want to make sure you have what you need and you're able to use it. If you have any questions, you can ask at that time. But we're going to go ahead and start on Friday at 12 with using Google Voice. And for those who want to connect with it, they can. Sister Audrey posted, if you all get a chance to look at the comments, the telephone number and the pin for the praise and prayer each night at 7. Wonderful. Sister Denise said they at Community Missionary Baptist Church, they're in the process of starting a stream. First attempt possibly this Sunday. She said, I've been bedside Baptist on YouTube with my favorites. I will share our website when it's up. Wonderful. Okay, that's great. That's great. We want to support you all, and everybody's having to dive in if they haven't done it before, and there'll be some mistakes. You can do some things right, you do some things wrong, but you'll get through it. It is so important, and I was sharing this with our leadership. I said, right now it is very, very important that we connect with our members. We have to stay connected in some form or fashion, because if they're not connected, they'll go somewhere else where they can connect relatively easy. So it's very important that they have ways to connect with the church. They want to see the pastor preaching. They want to be able to connect with someone on the phone periodically, just to hear somebody say, we're still here, we're praying for you. And when you do those things, it helps them to feel a sense of calmness about the situation, and my church is still there, my church isn't gone. And for a lot of people, being this social distancing, because they aren't connected virtually, it can be a challenge. So sometimes just picking up the phone and calling somebody. Sometimes you have to pick up the phone and make those phone calls, and using people who are connected to other people. You may not have everybody's phone number in the church, but the phone numbers that you do have, call them and have them call the people that they know, and share whatever information it is. And that may be how you get your if you're going to do text alerts, that may be how you get your text alerts started. Say, okay, I have your cell number and your cell number, we need some more cell numbers, and have them call you back and build it up, and kind of go from there. And then you can build your list up for your church members, and then you can share information more clearly, where it's the same across the board. That's one of the things that tends to happen, is if one person shares information and they have to share it to somebody else, you might lose the integrity of some of what's being shared. So being able to share everything the same way at the same time assures that the information is kept intact. So like I said, that's one of the reasons why having a good platform to communicate with is so key. So like I said, once again, if you all have platforms that you use that you think are very useful and either inexpensive or free, and I am the queen of free. Everything that I've shared with our church, it's free, and things that I use for this platform predominantly are free. So we will go through them so that you all can use them as well and share them with your churches. So just wanted to see if anybody else had any other questions, anything going on, anything they wanted to share. And if so, like I said, you can still put it on this platform. Feel free to put it on our page. You can always put a post on the page with something, a question or a resource, or a Bible study, whatever it is. That's what this group is for. It's open for all of us to do that and to share that. More than anything, we want to encourage each other to just stay and hang in there. God has got us. He has not left us, and He will not forsake us. And we can rejoice in that, and knowing that our God, He's going to continue to supply all of our needs. And He loves you. He loves you so much. He created you for a time like this because He knew you were strong enough to handle. He knew He gave you the stuff to handle what we're going through right now. And now it's time for us to share with others and encourage others with the stuff God has given us. You may not be able to go over there and hug your neighbor, but you can holler, hey, how you doing? Hang in there. You need some bread? Whatever it is. We want to be that light in our area, in our community, in our circle of influence. So I encourage you all in that. I'm praying for each and every one of you all. And once again, on Friday at 12, we'll do a training for those who want to participate in it. Feel free on setting up a Google Voice number and using it to receive phone calls as an alternate church number, and to do text messages from there, and I think it does a couple other things. So we'll share that, okay? And if you have any other needs, just let me know. I look forward to talking with you all, and we will connect and do some more trainings. And if there's something that you want to know or learn, just let us know, and we will make sure we get connected with that. I see Cynthia. How's Cynthia? She texted me yesterday about her mother. If you all didn't know, Sister Cynthia Dean, her mother passed, and I believe it's her stepmother, and it just happened yesterday. So I haven't talked to her directly. I'm going to try to reach out to her again today, but keep her lifted in prayer. Right now with the funeral homes, they are not doing funeral services in full. They are doing, I think they're allowing 10 of the family members to come, and they have to be close, the immediate close family members. So it's a challenging time for those who have lost loved ones. So, like I said, lift her up in prayer. Thank you for mentioning that. Okay. All right. I am going to go ahead down here, and I guess I'll have me some dessert and put my feet up, try to get in bed at a decent time, because tomorrow morning I have to get up and get online and do some video conference calls with those at the church, and we're going from there. Love you all, praying for each and every one of you all, and like I said, God has got you. Don't forget it. Don't forget it. He loves you. Take care.